Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. So, in this particular discussion, um, we are supposed to um, do a group discussion project here. So, find all the biotin biosynthesis genes in E. coli, K12 strain, MG1655. So, I'm asked to try to find at least two ways to capture this information: exact gene names, enzyme names, EC number, protein sequences for all the names required to go from pymylol, ACP to biotin. So since there are multiple ways to do this, and we can do this one by one, or we can do it all in one. So first, I'd like to go with this exact gene names, and then I'd like to go with the enzymes and so on. So I'm going to use different database here based on what I think. I know there are like 1,000 ways to do this stuff. So since this organism that we're dealing with is E. coli, so I believe it's better to go first with E. coli database. So what I used here is EcoPsych. So if you type the biotin biosynthesis pathway, it pull out. It's a simple Google search will bring this pathway up, and I hope you all can read it. I'm going to zoom it a little bit more. So, sorry. So if you go down here, I'm going to do it reverse. So the final product right here is biotin, and then the right before that, the prerequisites 4,5 secobiotin, and then DT-biotin, and then so on. And this is where we see pymylyl ACP. So from here, biotin back all the way back to this compound, and we can see the enzymes required for all these reactions. So the first one is biotin synthase, then the biotin synthase, a different version of that. I mean, it's the same enzyme, so it's working. You can see that ID 2.8.1.6, same enzyme here, and then go back down here, DT biotin synthetase, and then right here, there's another synthase enzyme right here, and then right here, there's another enzyme. So we have one, two, three, four major enzymes that is regulating this pathway right from pymylyl ACP all the way to biotin. So those are the enzymes. This is the one way that I located the enzymes, but this is not enough, and I'm going to show one more database to track this pathway, which is KEGG. If you go to KEGG, this is the biotin metabolism, and if you go up here, so you can see the information. Biotin metabolism is Escherichia coli, and I have highlighted here biotin biosynthesis pathway, because that's what we are supposed to do, and the rest of them are the reaction that happens before. The one which is highlighted right here is biotin, and this is where you can identify the genes. So BioB, which is the enzyme you can see 2.8.1.6, that converts the DT-biotin to biotin. That is regulated by the gene BioD. Uh, and then I'll go over the what is highlighted that later. And then DT-biotin is formed from 7,8 diamino non-anoate. So that is regulated by an enzyme which is 6.3.3.3, which I mentioned that before right here. Is that right here? So this enzyme. And then if you go back to here, okay, pathway, um, there you go. So that's regulated by the gene BioD, and then BioA, that's another one, and then BioF. So these are the operon genes pretty much. We are asked to explore it. So that's how you find the name of the genes, BioF. and then bio A, bio D, bio B, and so on. I don't think the bio C is not involved here because that's actually converting the biotin to biotin sulfone. So, all right, so that's the location, the database to find out the enzyme name. So now let's go back to the question that we're asking. So we got the gene names, and then now let's do with, I'm going to show you some cool thing that I just found. So if you go to the EcoPsych website, on your right side that you have a couple of options here. There's one of them is called download genes. I already downloaded that, so if you click here, you can download all the genes right here, which I already downloaded, so that's why you see the multiple downloads. Anyway, I'm going to open that. So that will open up the script, which is showing right here. So let me go back to my site here. So I'm going to minimize this. So it will open up this small text file, which is linked with this website. This is like I feel like it's a cool, easy way to explore these genes and the enzymes. And if you look at here, it gives this reaction ID. I don't think we need that. All I used was this gene ID in the PubMed or UniProt or PubMed to look it up for. So let me go back. So this is one of the search. You can, if you use this, I'm going to play around a little bit. So this is the gene ID and all that, and then this is the accession, and this is the gene name, reaction ID. So I'm going to use this particular number, which is the gene ID, to look it up in the NCBI database. Oh, hold on, sorry. There you go. So what I used was not this one. Sorry, not gene ID. Just the gene name, B0775. So I went to the NCBI website and I choose genome, or you can use even gene, it will pull up. So if you just paste here, and then if you look it up, so if you choose the genome, it's not going to show anything. So we are looking at gene. So that's the database we want. We are looking at things. So now you can see that it will pull out all these organism name, the name of the enzyme, and you can see the name, even name of the gene, BioB. So you can click that. So this will pull out pretty much a lot of enzyme, a lot of information. Here, the locus tag, and then this is the related link which I showed you before, that the database, EcoPsych, that's given here. Classification, and then so on. So that's another way that you can look up all these enzymes. So if you just use this gene ID and then use this gene database. There's another thing that another one that I used is Brenda. Brenda did not give much help. Probably I didn't explore much to do that. You can just give this ID number here. Whatever, if you go back and see the KEG, and you can see this enzyme ID. Let's try that, 2.8.1.6. Where is that? Sorry. Brenda, here is it, 2.8.1.6. So you can see that it's pulling out biotin synthase. When I hit enter, it will pull out that particular enzyme name. And then its classification, transferases and all that. And then where do you see that? It also gives the link in KEG and other database link. So yep, that's how you use Brenda. I'm gonna show this how we do it in UniProt. UniProt, what I did was just you can straight enter biotin synthase in E. coli. So you can see it is giving like a lot of results, and just choose that E. coli, and then sorry, this is not giving a good result. So this is K12 strain. Yep, there you go. So K12 strain, the different strain here. So K12 substrate 1. I think I'm going a little bit off here. So report. All right, or we can, the gene ID part, it was not working when I was trying to do that. In Uniports, probably we may have to do it another way. Um, and so for these enzymes here, it was not giving much of the ways. The enzyme ID was not provided here. So that's why I just used the basic algorithm, basic search. So, all right. So another way I did was, there you go. This is not one. Closed all these. All right, find your protein. All right, so the next thing that we need to, so I covered the enzyme names, EC number. Now we're coming to the protein sequences for all the enzyme required to go from that sequence. So now we have to find out what is the protein sequence. So here we got the enzyme biotin synthase. So now we're going to find out what exactly the protein sequence. So we can do it in UniProt, or we can definitely do it in NCBI. So both places are good. So here is the structure of that enzyme. So if you go down here, it will show this sequence. All right, these are the protein folding, beta strand and alpha helical and all that. So sequence similarities, and there you go. So if you go down here, this is where you find the protein sequence, and you can always reverse check this. All you need to do is just to go Control C, copy that, and then Google NCBI protein blast. I think this is just a little bit then different. We don't have to do this, but if you just copy paste that sequence, then just do, we have to make sure that it is a protein to protein blast. So just click blast, and it should give you a cross-matching database result. So which is whatever we just got it in UniProt is the same as in we should get it from NCBI as well. So it's going to take few minutes to show up the result. I'm going to go back here. So yes, so this is where you find the sequence of the gene. So like this, all you need to do is just to look it up, each enzyme from here, going from dithiobiotin synthetase, 7,8-D-amino largonic acid, no largonic acid, and so on. All these enzymes, just look it up, and in UniProt, you will get the protein model shape, the enzyme folding structure, and if you go down here, you'll see the sequence. So you can download the sequence. Then if you click tools, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can do the blast here itself, and this one is still looking up. I don't know why. So NCBI, probably the blast is busy. So that's an optional thing, and we don't have to do that. And we can do the blast here itself. If you click that, so you can see we can do the UniProt blast itself and run blast, and it will it should give the same result. So that's something different. So I think pretty much I covered the enzyme names, EC number, protein sequences for all the enzymes required from. It's the same method you apply over and over again to find out the sequence of all these enzymes. So I don't think there's no point in repeating the same thing over and over again for all the enzymes. And there are multiple ways to do that. There are all these database we can use it. So NCBI is still working for the blast, and also it's working again. But I'm gonna skip that. So anyway, that's the way you will find the sequence and the protein model of all the enzymes. So since it is E. coli, I just went back to the basic the pathway from EcoSys. That's the database I used for that. And then if you scroll it down, you can see all these genes, the operon and the pathway, and all these genes names here as well. So you can see the BioB, BioG, and these regulations and all that. So anyway, that's, I hope, I'd like to listen to all of our team members' explanation as well. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.